I love Chainsaw Man. The story is just so phenomenal. I love talking to other people who also love Chainsaw Man. I love Denji as a character. Yeah, he gets screwed over a lot, but he always fights back in such a cool way. I am a fan of Denji. Fumiko loves Chainsaw Man. Fumiko loves being around people who also love Chainsaw Man. Fumiko loves Denji. Fumiko's a huge fan. Everybody hates Fumiko. Even though she's only in a couple chapters of the manga, Fumiko Mifune has climbed the ranks of the most hated people to enter Denji's life. And that's a hard list to climb. But why? And maybe more interestingly, what does she represent? It might be pretty weird, but I think she's such a fascinating character to analyze, and my interpretation might surprise you. And to make sure we're on the same page, let's first go over...
If I didn't, may God murder my children. I hate that I even spoke about that. If I didn't, may God murder my children.
No, don't say that.
Please, kill them today.
Fumiko's first seen in chapter 136, where Denji was led to a cinema by Yoshida to dispose of a dead devil inside. While there, Yoshida tells Denji that he set him up on a date with the girl. How nice of him. As this woman sits down, she immediately starts groping him. Denji, appropriately, starts freaking out. She then offers him sex, only if he licks the dead devil. Even though Denji says he's changed and won't be manipulated anymore, he still gives in. They then go to a karaoke place and she starts singing as Denji is fucking jumped by a bunch of goons. Anyway, it's revealed that Fumiko is working for public safety with Yoshida and was assigned to Denji to be his bodyguard, and is also 22 years old. What the fuck? Fumiko tells Denji that she's really into him because he's the one and only Chainsaw Man. We next see her sitting on Denji, convincing him to join the Chainsaw Man Church as its leader. We then get her biggest lore dump in chapter 142. Fumiko and Denji are at a fair, and Fumiko lets it slip that Denji is being watched at all times. Okay. She then calls herself a fan of Denji, and then drops a pretty big bombshell by revealing that she was present when Denji fought Aki in part 1, and cried out to Denji to save her parents, which he didn't hear, leading to their deaths. Fumiko's seen a bit more later, but hasn't been in anything very important, so I'm gonna end her recap here. Now that you have a full profile of Fumiko's actions, it's not hard to see why she's so hated across the fanbase. And while yes, she does need to go to hell, I believe what she could represent is such an interesting part of Chainsaw Man, and particularly part 2. Which brings us to...
He brought down the force of God on his 10-year-old little boy wrist and broke his goddamn arm!
Now, the theme that myself and a lot of other people have come to is that, well, Fumiko's told us what she is. A fan. She a fan. No, seriously. Fumiko is supposed to represent Denji's, or rather Chainsaw Man's, fans. Us. Of course, this isn't literal, but she is a twist in how we, as fans, view Denji in the series. She technically wants to protect him, yet she still seems enamored when he's actually facing obstacles and being attacked. She's attracted to him, but still enjoys it when he does gross things, and seemed only to like him because she thought Chainsaw Man was just really cool. This fits almost perfectly in this part of the series, as it feels like Fujimoto is making the part like a commentary on how people perceived part 1 and how they reacted to it. There is a whole Chainsaw Man cult dedicated to following him, or more specifically, their perception of him and what he stands for. Many of the members have outlandish conclusions that they make of Chainsaw Man, that it actually just pisses Denji off. If you interact with the Chainsaw Man fanbase on any platform, you're gonna see some pretty brain-dead takes, and this shit is probably one of them. Fumiko is meant to represent the worst of the fans. I love when series get meta like this, and to back up my points, I want to show some other examples of media doing things like this. Have you ever played Danganronpa?
Okay. I know she stabbed him with a knife.
But can you spell the word knife?
Yes?
In this fun game?
I guess.
Okay, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know what Danganronpa is, so for the 5 people that don't, here's a rundown. Danganronpa is a visual novel series originally made for the PSP in 2010 by Spike Chunsoft, and created by Kazutaka Kodaka. The premise is that 15 students, all with special skills, are locked all alone in a high school by a robotic bear named Monokuma. In order to escape, a student must murder another student and get away with it. Every murder is followed by gathering clues leading up to a class trial to figure out who did it. Oh yeah, by the way, Mew is one of my favorite characters in anything ever, by the way, just want to let you guys know. In the ending for Danganronpa V3, the last full installment in the series, no, this one doesn't count, it's revealed that the entire series isn't real. It's a reality show in the universe of Danganronpa. Every character, relationship, backstory, everything is a result of people volunteering to be brainwashed to go on a death game to entertain billions across the world. and even after that, it's hinting that even that was just a lie. So this wasn't just jumping the shark, this is jumping over fucking Godzilla. It's like if in the middle of playing Call of Duty, the characters just stop and Ghost tells you about the crimes of Slobodan Milosevic. This is still so controversial in the fandom, people are still arguing over it 7 years later. One side hating it, saying if it all isn't real, then what's the point in caring? And the other side praising it for being subversive. And I somewhat agree with both of these takes. I myself am still conflicted on whether or not I like it. But going into what the ending is trying to say, a big factor is the player's role in it all. If the reality show reveal is real, then it's disturbing that the people in that universe would produce and watch a series about kids killing each other. But isn't that what we're doing right now? The game is essentially making the player question their own morality in playing the series. The player and the fans are enjoying this series of students getting tortured because we find it entertaining. It's a commentary on the fans, in a way similar to what I believe Fumiko and the Chainsaw Man Church is supposed to be. Please keep in mind, I'm going to talk about that very idea later, so stay tuned for that. So, if the ending of Danganronpa V3 is almost the opposite of whatever a fan of anything would want, what exactly happens when a creator gives the audience exactly what they want? It's time to talk about Metal Gear.
But you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you.
Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain is one of my favorite games of all time. It feels almost tailored to what I love: espionage, international locations, history, linguistics, philosophy, morality. The story is so fucking phenomenal. Please, if you haven't, play it. But even though I love it, there are some things that leave people a bit divided in both story and gameplay. Now, I'm not going to recap the story because holy shit, so I'm just going to talk about the parts that pertain to the topic. In Mission 30 of the game, you get the Jeep ride scene. The protagonist, Venom Snake, is taken on a Jeep ride with the main villain, Skullface. Skullface gives this amazing monologue about his main goal of using vocal cord parasites to exterminate the English language from the world. After that, he stops talking. The song Sins of the Father kicks in, and they just sit in silence for almost 2 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty awkward, and even pretty funny the first time you see it, but the first thought that usually comes into your head when this is over is, why the fuck is this here? Okay, please keep in mind that what I'm about to say is just my interpretation based off my own ideas and things other people have said online. I'm not saying that this is the definitive reason or message of the game. Right, so, The Phantom Pain is the most he just like me for real game ever. Okay, before you get a taste, let me cook for a bit. If you've played the game or know anything about the ending, you'll know that Venom Snake is actually a combat medic from Militaires Sans Frontières, made to be a body double for Big Boss after the events of Ground Zeroes, and little hints are given throughout the game that point to that fact. If you played through the Metal Gear series and thought, man, I want to be Snake, I want to be Big Boss, is it not impossible to think Kojima heard things like that and decided to give you what you wanted? The point of the game is to make you feel like Big Boss, live through every point of it, building mother base, gaining comrades, developing tech, having to kill those comrades you fought for and with. I mean, if the whole point of Venom Snake's existence is to be Big Boss, then you are Big Boss, through every gunfight, helicopter ride, and every Jeep ride. When it comes to what a fan can do, isn't imitation the biggest form of flattery? Oh, hey, in case you've forgotten, this video is about Chainsaw Man. Remember that? Looking through all those pieces of media, a question kind of rises. Do these creators hate their fans? I think the answer is no. I see it as a reflection to some parts of the fan bases that the creators want to commentate about. In the case of Fumiko, I think Fujimoto is using her and the Chainsaw Man Church as a way of showing us how our negative reactions or maybe ignorant perceptions and views of the series and its characters can affect what we learn from it and how it can make Fujimoto feel. Fumiko and the cult are a toxic influence on Denji, and that toxicity looks like it's spreading. However, please don't leave this video thinking that you are a bad person for liking any of these series because, at least for the Chainsaw Man fandom, I don't think it's as toxic as it might feel. Whenever bad things happen to characters we like, and specifically Denji, everyone feels terrible. Think back to how people reacted to Fumiko existing, the church existing. The first thing that is shown online when tragedy strikes in the manga isn't hatred, it's empathy. To summarize what I'm trying to say, Fumiko might be us, but we aren't Fumiko. Thank you so much if you've made it to the end of this video. I think this is a big step up from my last one, and I really love making this. I had such amazing reception to my first video. Almost 40 subscribers and nearly 600 views is so fucking amazing and much more than I deserve, and all this has encouraged me to continue making videos. I have so much I want to do, but I might talk about something other than Chainsaw Man for my next video or two, and I kind of use this to see if you guys would like me talking about anything else, so I really hope you enjoy this. If you do want to hear more of me yapping about things I love, please like and subscribe. It really means so much. Follow me on Twitter if you want. Later, losers.